Hey guys, I want to take this time and talk to you a little bit about some of the turkey calls and sounds that you'll hear in the springtime, and some of the calls you need to use whenever you're trying to get that old gobbler to come in gun range or bow range so you can get a shot off. One of my favorite calls to use while I'm trying to kill an old tom is the Yelp. And the Yelp is just simply a location call that the hen will use to let the tom know where she's at. That way the old tom can start making his way toward her, and she can start making her way toward the old tom after he gobbles back. That's nature's way of doing it. Actually, as hunters, we try to do it backwards and get the old gobbler to come to the hen, when actually that's not nature's way. Nature's way is the old hen goes to the gobbler. That's a lot of times he'll get out there and strut right around and around in circles in these big wide open fields, hoping that a hen will see him and come running over in his direction, and he can breed her, and they can have a good time and go on his merry way to the next hen. But anyway, that's just a little tip for you of Turkey Hunting Education 101. The Yelp is just a series of calls put together in a rhythmic fashion. And you need to understand that the rhythm is an important part of the Yelp. You don't want to do it too fast, too slow. You want it just like baby bear soup. You want it just right. And the way you do that is you spend some time out in the woods listening to the live turkey hens make the Yelp sound, or you can get on the internet or find an instructional video and listen to different callers. Or what I would suggest you do is find a audio file of some live hens in the woods making sound, and that way you can try to make your Yelp sound just like theirs. But anyway, the Yelp is just a series of notes put together, and it sounds like this. And you notice whenever I make the call, I'll use this hand, or if you're right-handed, ever which one you want to use, to project the sound toward different ways in the woods. And that's a good way of doing it, rather than turning your head and having a lot of movement. Try to teach yourself and train yourself to do that without even having to think about it. And that way, a lot of times, whenever you start calling, your hand automatically come up, and you'll already have it there positioned in the right spot. But the next call, probably the second most popular call heard, would be the cluck. And that's just a popping sound that the old hen makes. And it's just the sound of contentment. This is the sound she'll make when she's just roaming through the woods and really not got nothing, nothing to be scared of, just feeling of contentment. And it sounds like this. That was the cluck. And also, when you're hunting, you're going to hear a call out in the woods called the purr. And that is another content call. And a lot of times the old hen will put the purr and the cluck together. And the cluck is made with the diaphragm simply by just vibrating the lips. And just... I know sometimes we have to make a lot of silly faces to turkey hunt, but that's just how it has to be if you're going to sacrifice to kill the big gobbler. But anyway, put the call in your mouth, put that little cluck on the end of it. That makes it sound more natural. So far we've talked about the yelp, the cluck, and the purr. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about cutting. Cutting is an excitement call that the old hen will use when she's wanting that old gobbler to come to her and not be all day about getting there. So whenever you use that call, it's okay to get a little louder, and you want to get loud because it's an excitement call. But you need to know exactly where your turkeys are in the woods, your gobbler that you're trying to call to, before you start cutting. You don't want to start cutting on a diaphragm and the turkey end up 50, 60 yards out in front of you, and then next thing you know, he's looking right at you, you're busted, and he's gone. So the cut goes a little bit like this. Put the call in your mouth. And what I'm doing is I'm opening and closing my lips to pop that air in and out real fast to get that cutting sound, to get it to come out like a popping sound. Okay, that was the cut. So, just to summarize everything that we've done, first, the yelp. The yelp sounds like this. Next is the cluck. Next, the purr. Notice how I can put them all together. Once you get to be better with your diaphragm, you'll be able to do the same. And last but not least, this is your excitement call. This is going to get that old turkey fired up, get him gobbling, get him headed your way. And that's the cut. And like I said before, I like to end most of my calls, with a different sound. That way it sounds just more natural, and it's not something you have to do, but you'll learn as you spend more time in the woods that turkeys speak that kind of language, and the more time you spend in the woods, the better hunter you're going to be. I hope this has helped you, and I would like to ask everybody to come over to springstrutters.com, send all your comments, send me all your photos of your turkeys or deer, whatever you want to send me, and I'll post them in the gallery, and I'll look forward to seeing everybody there. I hope this has helped. Good hunting.